Avast, mateys, and welcome back to Skies of Arcadia. And now that the barrier of light has been shattered, we can finally enter Soltis, the final dungeon, in the ancient continent of a silver civilization. But it looks like there's going to be one final guardian waiting for us to try and stop us from entering the continent, so let's take this thing down. Descent complete, approaching Soltis. We'll try and get in through Shrine, well, what used to be Shrine Island. Good idea. I don't want to find out what that light beam above Soltis would do to us if we were to try and pass through it. Damn. Well, I guess things were going a little too smoothly. I would have been disappointed if we got into Soltis that easily. So, we're going to have to take down Gadinos. So this is a very easy fight, but the main gimmick is we need to kill it in a single turn, otherwise it will flee from the fight and we don't get any of our plunder. So we're just going to make sure that we guarantee this victory by throwing in our buff wax and all of our damage on that single critical hit turn. Judos Ray. So we could probably kill this thing on the very first round by just firing off a moon cannon, but we're going to guarantee that we get it dead. So we now get to throw out all of our new weapons we got from the Hydra. Our moon cannon and our moon torpedo, as well as our crystal cannon. Jada beam. So you can tell by how we're basically flying through the ditches in this continent how massive Soltis truly is. But we're going to be able to find our way in by going through Shrine Island, which was the very first dungeon of the game. Right, sadly our crystal cannon wasn't able to get a target then. But at least we get to see the damage of our moon weapons. $43,000 damage in a single turn. That may be even stronger than our moonstone cannon. So yeah, these new moon weapons we got from the Hydra and that we're going to get from this guy are definitely going to make the Delphinius a beast. And we're approaching Shrine Island. So if we don't kill that guy in that first round, then he just flees from the fight and we don't get any of these items. We get a sparkling deck and a moon gun. And that moon gun is going to be the best weapon for the Delphinius. So before we go any further, let's equip the Delphinius with the new equipment. So we can finally replace our 5-inch cannon with the moon gun. A secondary cannon relies on moonstone energy instead of draining spirit. So the spirit cost is low, the attack power and hit chance are really high, and it can hit for all 4 turns in the round, which basically means we're just going to be firing the moon gun 24/7, which is amazing. So now we have all of the moon weapons, as well as the crystal cannon if we ever have any spare spirit. And instead of the 70 defense of the alloy deck, we can now get the 500 defense of the sparkling deck. An armored deck studded with moonstones of 6 different colours improves ship defense. So this is incredibly broken, and of course we're going to use it. So now I believe we have the best equipment in the game. I don't think we can get any upgrade. Oh, we can equip the double shaft. Splits the engine into 2 indifferent stages, doubling power output and increasing ship speed. Okay, so I think that's the best equipment in the game then. So here we are back at Shrine Island. This was the very first dungeon, but as you can see, now it's slotted perfectly into place in Soltis. And so since Shrine Island is all rusted because it didn't descend into the deep sky along with the rest of Soltis, all this rush should have opened up a path inside that we can use to get inside the continent. And now we can see why it had this power crystal here, since this used to be a technologically advanced island, since it was a part of Soltis. So let's make our way back down through Shrine Island. We know how this goes. We've already been here before. We also now know why they had all these doors that went out into the sky that we used to drain out all the water. Because it seemed to have no point, but now we know that these doors allowed access to different areas of Soltis, back when it was a part of a continent. So let's try and open the doors. It won't budge. The door seems to be stuck. It probably got jarred shut when the island collided with Soltis. Yeah, so most of these doors are going to be sealed shut, so we have to find the one that allows us access. Also, while we're here, we're going to pick up a charm that, even though I showed you earlier in the game, I forgot to actually pick up in my actual save file. And yes, I was about to go all over the world to look for which charm it was I missed. But luckily, I realised it was the one in here. So let's go and grab it. There we go. So there's only 2 more charms that we can get in Soltis, and then we can fully upgrade Cupel to his ultimate form. So this crater here was where the massive moonstone fell that we went to collect when we first came to Shrine Island. What's this thing made out of? I've never seen this material before. It looks almost like gold, but it doesn't feel like gold though. So this was the Sentinel boss, the second boss of the game. And that's the guy who got reskinned for the Guardian boss we fought when we tried to stop Gaussian. So Soltis is split into a few areas. Before we can enter the actual main area of Soltis, we first need to go through here. So due to all the rust in this location, a lot of this area is going to be broken and we have to find the correct path. As you can see, these areas here are broken apart. So we have to look for the one path that will take us to the end. And yes, the Final Dungeon music is very good. So I believe I memorised the path here, so we should be able to go through it easily. Well, let's see who's going to try and stop us. Just some robots. So we're going to be fighting a Hopro and Hunters. Well, let's throw out an Omega Psyclone and everyone else attack the Hopro. So sadly Omega Psyclone won't be able to one-shot everything in here. So we will be relying on Fina's magic instead, if we're going to be fighting a lot of these hot rolls. But if there's only one, we can easily take it down with Vyse. So I should probably swap everyone to yellow weapons, since everything down here is probably going to be silver element. You may be able to notice as we explore this area, well, I'll mention after the fight, of course. Some more hop rolls. Alright, everyone pick a target. And then you should be able to attack a random target. And Fina, are you wearing your correct robe? You are, excellent. Then you throw out a Pyrulan. And Drachma, you just whack a random guy in the face.
Here goes.
So we do have Drachma back in the party. We're going to end the game with him because it's been a long time since we last had him. We've not seen Drachma since we had the little Jack.
Move. Give me strength.
So let's see if Fina can nuke these guys and one-shot them. I think she can if they're not guarding. Well, everyone punish this guy for guarding. Just punch him in the face. Gonna do even more damage with a yellow weapon.
We did it!
At this point in the game, we already have all the magic we actually want. So it really doesn't matter what weapon colour we actually pick at this point. So I may as well just swap it either depending on if I prefer it looking as it does, or if it's a weakness to the enemy. Like, I think that Athena should really have Cupel in his silver form, since Cupel is a silver creature after all. So as I was going to say, you may notice that this area we're going through is shaped in the crest of the silver moon. There's going to be a lot of that imagery in this location. Oh, hello, big boy. Who are you? Garagor. Oh, let's get started. Let's buff Vyse. We can do even more damage. And Drachma, use Spirit Charge. So Drachma's Spirit Charge is going to be amazing. It's definitely the reason why we're taking him with us. As well as obviously the fact that we want to play with Drachma again. But with that amount of spirit gain, we're going to be able to throw off pirate wraths basically every turn. Well, luckily he attacked Daika, who is wearing that accessory that makes her take no damage.
Cutlass Fury!
Oh, we really didn't need to work towards a pirate's wrath actually. This guy doesn't have that much health. Never mind. Oh, he looks really bad at the moment. Ah, well, let's put him out of his misery. Everyone wail on him.
That was fun!
So there is another large enemy in this location, and hopefully we'll get to fight it. Right, so do I go through here at the moment, or do I go through the middle? I think I go through here. Yeah, so this room has the whole 6-pip motif for the magic crest. Right, hopefully we'll get to fight the big guy. Nah, sadly not, it's just more small guys. Oh well, we know what to do. Everyone just jump on the big guy, and we're going to Pyrule and the rest. I guess we should have just done another Omega Psyclone, because I'm pretty sure that all of these guys won't be able to survive it. Or they could all just run away, that works too. Oh, this is going to be the most useless nuke ever.
Move! Give me strength!
Ah well, we'll kill the one guy at least. With a massive overkill.
We did it!
Okay, so now if we just go up here, we'll be able to reach the end. But before we leave this location, we want to first grab a cham that's hidden here. Luckily, it's very close to the exit. We just have to backtrack a very little bit for it. There we go, and we get the second to last cham of the game. Only one more remains. Now, I was hoping we get to fight the big guy. Sadly not. Is this a back attack? It is. Then let's just do a Rain of Swords for the hell of it.
Moons, give me strength.
Just gonna throw in a quicker first to make sure that we go first with the Rain of Swords before any of them can flee. Yeah, sadly we're going to end the game before we get the ability to do a Rain of Swords on the first turn. We're just simply not going to get 14 spirit points per turn.
That was easy.
But 12 is still far more than enough to do anything that we want to on the very first turn. Right, let's just walk through one of the most dangerous areas in the game. Just a bottomless pit and live electricity right beneath us. It's a double combo. And now we get to enter the actual continent of Soltis. So our goal is to get to the top of this power core. And that's going to be where the exit is. Oh yeah, of course, this is where the cham is. So that's the final cham of the game. So it's time to feed Cupel for the last time. Let's give him the 6 chams. And the final Abbot cham. Final Cupel. Cupel's final and ultimate form. It looks very impressive and packs quite a punch. Well, obviously we're going to be using that. We've got to see what it looks like. The only way to get that is to find every single cham and Abruk cham in the game. Most of them are very easy to find because they're in the way you usually go, but there are a couple that are a bit harder to get. Alright, so I think we've gone higher. Yeah, we're closer to the top now. We just have to take all these teleports. So this middle teleport over here is actually going to take us where we need to go. So for now, we're going to look for more treasure. We get ourselves a moonberry. How many of them do we have? It would be great to give Drachma his final... we still need 2 more, sadly, to give Drachma his final attack. Oh, aren't you a big boy? Linarch. Oh, let's cut him down. And everyone else just focus up.
Moons, give me strength.
So a buffed up Vyse is basically just going to make quick work of any of these larger enemies. As if it were normal enemies. Let's just hack this machine to pieces.
Cutlass Fury!
Oh, actually, this guy has a lot of health. Or maybe he was guarding. Oh, it looks like we're going to have to work up to a Pirate's Wrath after all. He has a very cool looking attack. Alright, here we go. Pirate's Wrath time. And everyone else just focus up. Just in case it somehow survives this attack. Oh, that's a very cool looking normal attack.
Behold
But ours looks even cooler.
Pirate's Wrath!
Yeah, we're doing almost max damage. If we spent all of our gold purely on the power seeds, then Vyse would definitely be doing max damage right now with his Pirate's Wrath. But I decided to take the safe option and go half-half with some health seeds for Fina, which has definitely proved to be very valuable because Fina's survived quite a few attacks with very low health so far since I did that. So every time we take a teleporter, we have to look around, make sure we're not missing anything. There could be doors on either side. Right, the hum's got a lot louder, so I think we're very high now. Yep, here we are at the power core. So we saw one of these on the Hydra that Gaussian used to power the Hydra since it was such a massive ship. So he must have stolen one of the ones from here to use in it. So we need to get to the other side where there's a door, and that's going to be the exit. But for now, we're hunting for booty. Right, there's a door over here. And another chest. Well, before we open this chest, a little something tells me we should probably heal first. Just for safety. It looks like it's another mimic fight, so it's time to take down Sullivan Bane for the last time. And this time he's here with Lord Bane, who is our final bounty of the game. So let's do this. Let's swap to purple weapon. And we just want to make sure that we keep these Sullivan Banes dead at all times. We do not want them to be causing an issue for us. It's going to be very easy to kill all of these Baneads, so we're just going to be doing that. Right, luckily they're wasting their turns instead of using explosives, which is always beneficial.
Cutlass Fury!
So sadly we need a little extra damage as well as a Cutlass Fury to kill these guys. So then we're going to throw out a little bit of an AoE damage each time one comes up. Explosive powder. So this is going to be his main attack. He does massive damage to everyone. So we're going to have to heal quite a lot in this fight. Right, so for now, let's buff ourselves with Incremus. And we're going to increase our speed. Theme uses Guard for now, and Drachma use Spirit Charge.
Moons, give me strength.
So we're just going to buff ourselves up, and then we're going to start dealing out all the damage next round. Medicine Box. So this guy can buff himself with all three of the buffs at once. So he's got increased speed, increased defense and defense, and also he's going to regenerate every round. So we have to remove those as a priority. Which is going to be annoying because we could really do the Lunar Light next turn, it looks like. So we might not be able to remove the buffs next round. Well, for now, Vyse, I want you to finish off this guy. Let's see. Ica, you just focus. Fina, Lunar Light. Drachma, Spirit Charge. Pipes of Doom. So he's going to use this to summon in more ads. So we need to make sure that we stay on top of the ads and make sure they die as quickly as possible. So there goes one of them at least, before he can do anything nasty. Well, he already threw a grenade onto Ica, but she lives, so it's fine. So again, we're going to Cutlass Fury the Bane. Then we're going to focus, and we are going to Lunar Winds to remove a buff and also damage the other Bane to hopefully kill it. And then Spirit Charge. And looks like he's going to be spamming ads on us. Well, we have to make sure that they die as quickly as possible before they start throwing grenades. Because if all of them start throwing grenades, we're going to have a bad time. Right, so it looks like while Vyse is buffed, he can one-shot them, which is very good. So I was planning to finish them off with a Lunar Winds. So that extra damage from Lunar Winds will be enough to finish off the Bane if Vyse wasn't buffed. But Vyse is very buffy, so you can just now kill that guy. You just focus. And Fina, I want you to actually attack Lord Bane. I want to see Cupid's final form. So despite being the final wanted guy, this bounty is actually very easy. And Cupid just sucks in and spits out the guy. He basically does a Lunar Wind on command. Right, sadly we really haven't had time to attack him yet because he keeps summoning more ads. But as long as we stay on top of them, then this boss is very easy. To be honest, he's probably one of the easier bosses on the wanted posters. But that mostly comes down to the fact that we're at the end of the game, pretty much. You know, we have a lot of spare energy. Tackle the boss. Like, at this point, we're so powerful, and we have all the moves in the game to deal with anything that happens to us, that you really won't have any trouble anymore with any of these wanted bosses. So if you save them all for this point in the game, just a punch to the face. So yeah, if you save all the bounties for this point in the game, then even though you won't get any of the loot for earlier, you'll be able to do them all very easily. But where's the challenge in that? Magic Lamp. So this is going to remove all our buffs annoyingly, but we can put them back on. So let's just go for a Pirate's Wrath. We don't need to buff everyone. We're just going to buff Vyse. And we're going to increase our speed. And then continue focusing. It's about time we actually started to do some damage to the guy. So Lord Bane here is the leader of all of the Sylvan Banes that we've been fighting over the course of the game. We'll check out his wanted poster again after we beat him. Well, summoning another dude only wastes all of our time, mate. You're not doing any damage and we'll just kill him in one turn.
Behold.
Let's see how much damage we can do with a buffed up Pirate's Wrath.
Pirate Wrath!
No, he's already dead. Excellent. Yeah, he really wasn't a challenge. Oh, time to finish the last guy off. Everyone just pile on.
Behold.
So that was the final bounty of the game.
That was easy.
It was much easier than the last ones we fought. And we get ourselves a Vital Seed. Sylvan Bane. Well, he got away. I guess that's a victory for us, kind of. He's on the wanted list too, right? Next chance we get, we'll stop by Sailor's Guild. We gotta go get our gold. And we received the Orb of Serenity. So let's check the wanted list. Lord Sylvan Bane, worth 30,000 gold, the supposed leader of an infamous clan of bandits. Nothing is known about his true identity. Nobody knows where he's from. Little is known about his fighting tactics, other than his use of explosive powder. Avoid this attack at all costs. Yeah, so compared to the last guys we fought, he wasn't a problem whatsoever. So it's time to go and make our way to the end of this dungeon. So to get there, we have to sadly return to the entrance. At least the entrance to this room anyway, since we've concluded our incorrect path. So I believe this takes us back to the very entrance. Yeah, so this over here should be where we came in from. Yep, we've been through there. Then it's time to go and take the different path. We haven't had that many fights while we've been in here, sadly. It would be nice to get a few more before we get to the end. To have a look at more of the enemies that you can fight in here. Right, and here's another treasure. Looks like someone's waiting and guarding it. Well, then let's take it down. Ah, it's you again. The Suspector. He suspects a lot, apparently. Well, we know what to do. Let's swap to silver, and let's start Cutlass Furying him and buffing ourselves. So this is the reskin of the very first, well, the second boss we fought, the one in Shrine Island. He's the guy that we examined the remains of when we were coming down here. Maybe this time we'll actually get to see his main move, since he didn't do it to us either of the first two times we fought him.
Give me strength.
He's supposed to shoot us with a massive laser beam that's in his hand. Yeah, one more Cutlass Fury and this guy's already dead. So I guess we'll give him a bit of time to attack us. We'll play nice for now. And we'll see if he wants to actually use his laser beam or not. Alright, so everyone just guard. Crypt Laser. Right, that's not the correct one. Come on, Suspector. I want to see your laser beam attack. No, he really doesn't seem interested in using it, does he? So I think this thing is able to one-shot us because of the name Crypt Laser is probably instant death. Come on, mate. Here we go. Blaster. So this is the attack that he was meant to be using on us on the previous 2 boss fights, but he never did it. Well, I guess we're going to end this in style with a prophecy.
In dire need. The power.
Of the ancients.
To battle our foe.
Zelos may be able to use the Rains of Destruction, but we can actually crash the moon itself into the planet.
We did it!
It's alright, we're the protagonist, don't worry about it. Right, sadly he doesn't give us a moonberry, like he did in the boss fight versions. Oh, but here is a moonberry. Sadly though, we still need one more for Drachma, don't we? Ah, that's a real shame. I wanted to get Drachma's final super move before the end of the game. Ah, well. We sadly just got really unlucky with not getting many random battles that dropped moonberries. There was that one time earlier in the game when two moonberries dropped at the same time, but since then we just had a very low success chance. Right, just to load more of these dudes. Well, we know what to do. Everyone pick a target and let's just throw out an Omega Psyclone. I was going to say a Lambda Burst. But we've upgraded a lot since then.
That was easy.
Alright, so here we are again at the top of this power node. Which means it's time to go and end this. So we've been down this path once before. This was when we were trying to stop Gaussian and Ramirez from raising Soltis. But sadly we were too late and they managed to break the seal on Zelos. Well, this time we're going to put a permanent end to their plans. We've already killed Gaussian. Now all that remains is to either try and talk Ramirez out of this, or kill him if we need to. And whatever happens, we have to destroy Zelos. We can't allow that Gygas to live, since it has the power over the Rains of Destruction. So here we are at the final door of the game. So while we're here, you know what we could do? We could use one of those meals we never got to use. Also, we have some more Piranta seeds. Let's just give them to Vyse. Willpower, let's give that to Fina. Vigor, we'll give that to Fina. Quick, we'll give that to Ica. Do you have any more seeds? Oh, a Vidal Seed. Yeah, let's give that to Fina. So let's have ourselves one of Urala's lunches. A meal made from exotic ingredients that fully replenishes the party's HP and MP. Or should we have a Poly Special? A meal made from rare ingredients that fully replenishes a single character's MP. Ah, we're gonna take the party. There we go. A nice meal before the final boss. So we're gonna save the game here, obviously. Within Soltis. So, as soon as we go through this door, that's the point of no return. At this point we can still go back to Sailor's Island to cash in the wanted poster. And we can start working on unlocking the super boss of the game. To do that we need to kill 2,500 enemies. I don't think we've even killed 1,000 so far. So, yeah, I'm gonna have to grind a lot for that in Looperland, it looks like, to try and unlock that boss. And then once we're done, it's time to confront Ramirez and end Skies of Arcadia. Alright, so on the way back out to hand in the bounty, we managed to find ourselves the other big enemy that was down here, the Draco Sylph. So let's start hacking it up and see how much health it has. Everyone else just focus up and spirit charge, as per usual.
Cutlass Fury!
Yeah, so this beast has quite a lot of health. So this must be the guy that all of those Draco things were named after. And it's no wonder since this thing is one hell of a beast. I think the tank we fought before we got the Delphinius, Blast Breath, was named something like Draco. And of course Vigaro's ship is the Draco. Yes, we just quite a bit of damage, but we have Pirate's Wrath. I don't think it's going to be able to survive that.
Behold!
Yeah, no chance.
That was easy.
Sally doesn't really give much for beating him though. Oh, he gets another defensive aura. Wait, isn't that the thing that Aiga has that makes her immune to damage? Yeah, it is. Okay, for some reason I thought it was something that was only added in the Legends version, but never mind, you can actually get multiple. So we could give this to somebody else, like Drachma. We can make him even more tanky. Come on then, Drachma. Let's give you a defensive aura. Alright, let's continue getting out of here. So, we've returned to Sailor's Island, where we're going to cash in our final bounty. Well, who would have thought that the Exploration King Vyse would ever grace this guild with his presence? I'm honoured, sir. You defeated everyone on the wanted list. Thanks to you, people can sail the skies freely and safely. It isn't much, but here, take this. And we got the 30,000 gold for defeating Lord Sullivan Bane. Yep, so we've now defeated all of the wanted posters. Rumour has it that Vyse defeated him on the new continent Soltis, but it has yet to be confirmed. Perhaps now nobody will ever know his true identity, now that he is gone for good. So our first bounty was good old Bautor. Then we fought this guy in Maramba, Rupee, and his bodyguard. Gordo, he was an actual boss in the game that you were supposed to fight, similar to Bautor. Then we fought Loose Cannon Lapin when we first got the Delphinius, right here. And then after we got back from Yafatoma, we fought these guys, or these girls rather. We could have fought them before we went to Yafatoma, but it made more sense to do so afterwards, in the Ixatakan region. And then these guys, after we proved the world was round, we had these imposters who decided that they'd try and steal our identity and do evil deeds, so we beat them up in the ruins of Nazrad. And then just before we went to Soltis, we went and matched this guy, Dekuya the Wealthy. Actually, it was before Soltis was raised that we beat him in the Lands of Ice, and now we beat Lord Sullivan Bane within Soltis itself. So that's the end of all of the bounties in the game. Which means I think now we may have got a new title. Yeah, we are now Vyse the Bounty King. So this is probably a good time to talk about what's going to affect bounties. I've got a page here, I'm just going to read out from it. So once you've got a high enough swashbuckler rating, then you'll start to get these unique titles. Vyse the Charismatic is if you have all 22 crew members. You can become Vyse the Battle Lord if you defeat 2,500 enemies. You become Vyse the Sky Battle King if you kill all 4 of the monsters with the Delphinius, and 12 out-of-story ship battles, so like random Valuan ships or Black Pirate ships. And Vyse the Extravagant, you need 1 million gold, and all of those items we've been collecting that are really worthless, like the Air Purifier and the Floor Heater and the like for the Delphinius. Vyse the Exploration King is discovering all the bounties and over 90% of the treasure chests. Vyse the Bounty King, defeat all of the wanted battles. Vyse the Fisher King, collecting 1,000 fish. And finally, Vyse the Legend, all discoveries, treasure chest bounties, and the Pier Store battles. So I guess we should probably check on our treasure chest completion, and see if we actually got all of them or not. Before we do that, see, Mighty Cannon Vigoro. Well, we know Vigoro, he's apparently now an air pirate. So he's going to be the optional super boss of the game. But apparently to unlock him, you need to beat 2,500 battles according to the internet. And I really hope that that's a lie, but it might be true. And then we're second, Vyse the Bounty King. So I guess we'll go and have a look-see. Actually, there is the random merchant in here. If we are able to fight Vigoro right now, then if this merchant's here, he should sell an extra item. Yep, hi Mystery Merchant. Let's see if you have this extra item or not. You don't. Right, that does mean we do have to kill 2,500 enemies, sadly, in order to fight Vigoro. Which is really stupid. I don't know why they added that implementation to the game. Or that restriction, rather. Because I believe we've still not beat 1,000 enemies so far. We'll go and double check our stats now. But yeah, that means we have to grind for 1,500 extra enemies in order to just fight the super boss. It may come to you as a surprise that I've never beaten him before, because I've never done that. But I guess, you know, for completionist's sake, we should really do it. So what's the quickest way to the Dark Rift? Southeast. We're going to go check our stats. So we're just going to be having a nice relaxing stroll through the skies. We've basically completed everything in the game outside of this final super boss, by the way. So we've done all the optional things, like all the Pier Store battles, we've collected all the moonfish, we've got all the chams, we've completed the side quest with the kebab skewer lady. We've got all the discoveries. And we're at the end of the game. And all the crew members. So yeah, at this point we have 100% of the game. As far as you really need to worry about anyway. Because I would really say that it's not worth grinding to fight Vigoro one final time. It's just not worth it. You know, I'll try and do it, but in terms of if you should do it, no, just don't. Don't worry about it. Complete waste of time. It's not worth it. Let's go check our stats. There are some games where 100%ing it is just plain not worth going for, and there's no shame in admitting it. Right, so tell us about the way I fight. So we fought 287 times, and yeah, we haven't even beaten 1,000 enemies. We've beaten 995. Well, let's have a look at our treasure hunting percent. See if we manage to get all the chests or not. %97% now. We missed a few treasure chests, sadly. And some of them might not be obtainable anymore because they may be in areas we can't go back to. Which means it's impossible for us to get Vyse the Legend title, because we missed 3% of a treasure. Like, as he's just said there, but I skipped past it, sometimes you gotta know when to give up. And we fought 127, we've caught 127 fish. We need to catch 1,000 if we want to get the fishing title. So if you are planning to try and grind for the 2,500 kills that I would really not recommend, this is how you do it. You come back to the Looper Land, which is in this area of the world, past the Dark Rift, which is nearby to Gordo's Bistro. And this is where we find the Looper's Nest. Loopers are mysterious creatures, rarely seen even by the most seasoned of sailors. They nest in the stone reefs, and their young stay in the nest until they mature. Loopers are white at birth, but they turn various colours as they age. And this is also where we fought the giant Looper battle. And while we're here, what we do is we equip the Black Map accessory, which will increase the amount of random battles we get into, as well as making it so none of the Loopers can run away. And then we're going to go and give someone the focusing item. The Warrior's Heart to give us extra spirit for the hell of it. And then we just look around for fights. So all we do is sail around in circles around this area and fight all the Loopers that we can. Because Loopers tend to come in large packs, and the Loopers here can't do anything as long as if we Skull Shield and Delta Shield. So it's 100% safe to grind these guys, and then we just finish them with a Rain of Swords. So we just have to hope that we get big groups like this. So we're just going to Skull Shield, Delta Shield, and then we're just going to guard up. To be honest, you probably don't even need to do either of them. Well, Delta Shield is definitely a must, because then it stops wasting time with magic animations. But Skull Shield's probably just going to waste time, sadly. Because of waiting for all of these counter-attacks. Unless, of course, they all decide to attack us. Then I guess it's helpful. So it's similar to when we fought Elcian. If you use a Delta Shield and a Skull Shield, then it's impossible for any Looper to hurt you. Yeah, sadly they're not all going to attack. So it's much better just to do a Rain of Swords instead on the second turn. Since a Rain of Swords bypasses their high magic defense that we have with an Omega Psyclone. And of course we can always just heal up after a few fights. Oh, I guess we may as well Cutlass Fury, there's only one left.
That was easy.
So you're going to have to do this like a few hundred times in order to get the extra like 1,500 kills we need to unlock the super boss. Yeah, at least we give you a black map if you happen to be missing one to help you kill them. So this is going to be fun. We just fly around in circles and kill every single Looper in existence in their breeding grounds. Don't worry, we're the protagonist. So I'm going to be doing this. I'm going to be saving this into a different save file, of course. We're not going to fight the final boss with this save file that we're unlocking the super boss on. Otherwise, we're going to be massively over-leveled. Alright, it's a back attack. So let's just cast quicker if this happens. And this will make us go first with our Rain of Swords. So a black map also increases our chance of getting a back attack like this, which definitely helps out. So yeah, we're going to be doing this on a separate save file so that we can actually fight Ramirez and Zelos with
That was easy.
the correct levels, rather than being like 10 levels higher or something from doing this stupid grind. So here we return for the super boss of the game. As you can see, it's been about 15 hours since our last save in Soltis, and we're a lot higher level now. So we return to Sailor's Island, since now that we've killed over 2,500 enemies, we can get ourselves 3 secrets in the game. The first of which is a weapon upgrade, the Sky Fang. A sword so powerful it's said that it can split the heavens, the ultimate sword. So this sword is both more accurate and a lot stronger than the actual ultimate weapon of the game, the Zorlik Blade. But you can't see the strength because I went and bought loads of power seeds for Vyse. Vyse is a powerhouse right now. Because we made about 1.5 million gold, I believe, from our like 1,500 leapers we killed. And so I spent all of that on willpower seeds for Fina to increase her magic, and for power seeds to Vyse to increase his raw damage. So there's 2 more secrets to the game. One of them is the final discovery, which is now available to us. So let's go and discover that. It's very close to Sailor's Island. We've tried to discover this a few times already, but since we didn't kill 2,500 enemies, we weren't able to find it until now. So if we head over here, this is the cave that you travel through to get from the mid-ocean area to Sailor's Island. You can see that our compass is spinning, so let's discover the final discovery. You have found the Golden Hamachu. A bird-like unknown creature shining gold. They say that it's a hybrid between the Hamachu and an ancient animal, but details are still unknown. If you are lucky enough to see this rare bird, your wish will be fulfilled. So we're just going to dance on top of this rock here for the rest of the game. So sadly this one isn't actually visible in the journal. We can only see the Moon Hamachu. We also can't sell this one, I don't believe, either. So it's there purely as a secret Easter egg thing. So all that remains is for us to fight the super boss of the game, which we can do by returning to our home base of Crescent Isle. So let's go confront him. And then in the next part we're actually going to go and finish the game. But of course we will not be using this save file, because that would be ridiculous. If we went to the final boss with this current save file, we would probably, like, kill the boss in a couple of turns, if even that. It would be ridiculous. We'll see exactly how strong we are once we face this super boss. It's actually really stupid that they force you to grind for 2,500 enemies. Because as a result, we're such a high level and we bought so many seeds that this boss will not be a challenge whatsoever for us. But if we actually fought it back with our stats at the end of the game, then this guy could actually be quite difficult. So now we get an option when we try to dock at Crescent Isle to fight the Special Air Pirate. Let's do this. Alright everyone, we're home. Get some rest while we have the chance. It really is nice to come home once in a while. Finally I can have some time to unwind. Hey baby, how you been, Red? You miss me?
Huh?
Oh, it sounds like there's someone out on the deck. Aika, is that a friend of yours? That crude voice, that musky smell. Could it be? I'm touched, baby. You remembered me. I'm back for you, and this time I'm not taking no for an answer. It's Air Pirate Vigoro. With some cool red glasses. Vyse, show yourself. Air Pirate Vigoro's here to greet you. I knew it. That would explain why I've been feeling nauseous all day. Vigoro, you're alive? As much as ever. Since the last time we met, I've become an air pirate, as you can see. And I've searched the world for the strongest sailors I could find and picked fights with all of them. Fight after fight, I emerged victorious, and I'm stronger than ever. With this strength, you won't stand a chance against me. Wait a second there, Vigoro. Are you saying that you want to fight us again? Of course! I even did everything the proper air pirate way. I boarded your ship and now I'm challenging you to a fight. Come on, Vyse. Once I defeat you, I'll become the king of all air pirates. Well, then let's find out who's the strongest man in the world for real this time, Vigoro.
Let's finish this.
Well, if you insist. So as you can see, we now start with 27 spirit at the start of the turn compared to the 13 we had at the end, when we were at the final boss. Yeah, we've really grinded to such a ridiculous amount that it isn't even funny. So let's just start the fight with the Pirate's Wrath. Actually no, we're going to start the fight with a Cutlass Fury, and then we're going to throw out an Incremus. In Fina, you just throw out some Crystallen. And Enrique, you just slash the guy in the face.
Hey, baby.
Vigoro's Charm. So he's going to try to confuse Ica, but we gave her the Constitution gem, so she's immune to it.
Moves, give me strength.
So let's just buff everyone up. And then we're going to start dishing out the damage.
Cutlass Fury!
Yeah, so Vigoro's a lot more beefier than last time we fought him. He has a lot of health, but we also do a lot of damage.
Give me strength.
Because I spent all of our money on seeds to increase our raw power. And even Fina's magic is now able to do almost 2,000 damage. So we brought Enrique along for his Justice Shield. Also, yes, this is our new weapon with Vyse. So this is the ultimate blade. And it's got a cool metal center to the offhand. It's a very nice weapon. It's a pity that you can only really get it if you grind heavily. So let's start doing some Pirate's Wraths. You just focus, you throw in a Crystales, and you start throwing up our Justice Shield.
May righteousness be our shield, shield of justice.
So Vigoro's main gimmick, as well as having a lot of health, is that he can dish out a lot of damage. So we want to keep up Justice Shield as often as possible. Because if he starts using his actual cannon to fight us, we're going to start taking some big hits. Yeah, we get a ridiculous amount of spirit per turn, especially if we focus. So Fina's just going to be spending the entire time just spamming him with magic spells. Since purple magic is very cheap. It's time to face Ica's wrath. She keeps saying no, Vigoro, it's about time you learn that answer.
Pirate's Wrath!
And now we finally do the legendary 9999 maximum hit. It's the first time in the game, and it's good to finally get it. So let's just keep this up. Also, with Ica, we're going to try and throw some normal attacks onto him. Because I've been told by various sources on the internet guides that he could be confused. So let's test that theory.
May righteousness be our shield, shield of justice.
It turned out that the internet didn't lie about the 2,500 enemies that needed to die to unlock this guy.
Behold,
Let's just slash him in the face. So let's see if I lie about his lack of immunity to confusion as well. Yeah, it turns out he can't be confused, so I don't know what all those guides are about when they say that there's a really cheap way to kill this guy by just spamming him with a Swarmerang confusion hit. Because he can't be confused. Maybe it's a different version of the game or something, I don't know. Let's just continue with our Pirate's Wrath. You start focusing up again, and you continue with your Crystallens. And Enrique, you just throw out our Justice Shield. May righteousness be our shield.
Hey, baby.
Man, all Vigaro's doing is trying to confuse Ica. You need to show us what damage you can pull out, Vigaro. Stop trying to make out with Ica and actually focus on the fight. Yeah, so this guy just has a ridiculous health pool.
Give me strength.
So he would be a real challenge if we were able to fight him with the stats we had at the end of the game. But considering we had to farm this much just to unlock him, like, he's just not a challenge anymore. It's kind of ridiculous because they completely undermined him by forcing that on me. Let's not even bother. Let's just throw out a Royal Blade. Alright, here we go. Random fire. Yeah, that's more like it. So if we don't defend ourselves, he can deal over 4,000 damage a hit. So that's why it's important to bring Enrique to this fight, so he can keep a Justice Shield up to take half the damage.
Move. Give me strength.
I do like how the Crystalline animation is similar to the Eternum animation.
Face my blade.
Right, he's very low health now. How much energy we got? Let's start focusing up. Let's throw out a Lunar Light, and let's throw out a Judgment. We're gonna judge Vigaro for all of his crimes while he was a member of the Armada.
Save us in your light.
He may have put that life behind him when he became an air pirate, but he still needs to pay for his actions.
Take
Random fire. We haven't even given any health Cs to Ica. That's just her natural health from all the grinding we've been forced to do on the loopers.
Your trial shall be swift and just.
The only person we've given any health Cs to has been Fina. Everyone's health is natural.
Now face your punishment.
Oh, hey, he's still alive. More beefy than I expected, Vigaro. Well, I think we should end this the good old-fashioned way, the Cutlass Fury. You just throw out another attack. Fina, you throw out another Psyclone onto Ica, just make sure she ends the fight at max health. And a Safety Justice Shield. May righteousness be our shield.
Here goes.
cannon fire.
Take this!
Alright, on to Vyse. So you want to find out who the real man is, do you, Vigoro? Well, that was your big hit, now it's time for Vyse's. Well, I'll have to a heal, of course. It's always good to end the fight properly. Okay, now we find out who the real man is, Vigoro.
Cutlass Fury!
Ah, I lost again.
You may be one hell of a man, Vigoro, but in the end of the day, you're nothing compared to Vyse.
That wasn't so bad.
So that's the super boss of the game. He would be a real challenge if we didn't have the stats we needed to unlock him. Because yeah, we're all basically level 80 compared to like the level 40 we were at the end of the game. And we get ourselves some mesh tights. You truly are strong. Even after all that training, I still can't beat you. Vigoro. But by fighting with you, I discovered something, and I've decided to make it my new motto. I decided to adopt your policy of no matter what happens, never give up. I'm not giving up on defeating you. I'm gonna become stronger, and the next time we meet, I'll surely beat you.
Uh-huh.
I understand. Whenever you're ready, come and find me. I swear, he sure is persistent. With that, I must go. My dear lovely crew of members await me aboard the Draco. Someday, I'll have my own headquarters like this, and I'll fill it up with the most beautiful women around the world. So long, Vyse. You better take good care of those two pretty ladies until the next time we meet, especially Red. Man, if there's anything that makes me upset that they never made a sequel to this game, it's the fact that you don't get to find out what happens to Vigoro. Because I do like the way that you end the game with Vigoro here. It's just really, really unfortunate that they make you run through so many hoops to unlock him, because it's so stupid. There's no way you're going to defeat 2,500 enemies naturally going through the game. It's just not going to happen. Oh, and by the way, the mesh tights we got, given to Aika by a secret admirer, improves the wearer's attack power and will. So of course only Aika can wear that, and it makes her a lot stronger in her raw power. So here's where it all ends, beyond this door. We're going to take down Ramirez and destroy Zelos for final Gygus, and save the world. So in the next part we're finally going to end the skies of Arcadia.